Hello, I'm Kenneth Turan from the Los Angeles Times. I'm here with my colleague Justin Chang. We're here to talk about the Oscars. So Justin, I'm going to ask you the question everyone knows the answer to. Is there a favorite this year for Best Picture, and what might that film be?
I wonder. The favorite, of course, is La La Land. You know it from its 14 Oscar nominations. It tied All About Eve and Titanic with 14 nominations for the all-time record. And the most nominated film doesn't always win Best Picture, but I think this is a year when it's definitely going to. La La Land. It's won the Directors Guild Award for director Damien Chazelle. It's won the Producers Guild Award, and that combo is pretty hard to beat.
Very hard to beat.
Yeah. And and I think it just sort of, it's interesting too, because given the people have been talking about in the current political mood, will the Academy want to give Best Picture to something that really reflects the mood of the times, or will they want to give something that's kind of escapist and fun and uplifting? And I think La La Land suits that latter.
Yeah, and I think
bill.
they also the Academy likes to recognize its own, recognize itself. It's a film set in Los Angeles. It's a film with a show business background. It's a film with actors in it, and actors provide most of the votes for Best Picture, and they like to see themselves. But kind of, I'm holding out. I wouldn't say I'm holding out hope, but I think partly sometimes the Academy doesn't want to be taken for granted. That the voters are well aware that everyone thinks it's going to go to La La Land, and sometimes they get kind of ornery and they decide to strike out in another direction. It's possible, that Moonlight, which is I think a lot of critics' favorite film, one of the favorite films, which is a really uplifting film, that they will go with that. Or the other thing I think, one film that has started slowly but is gaining momentum is Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
And I think, if the voting were to extend another month, Hidden Figures might win. The question is it going to get enough momentum to win this time? I'd say the odds are against it, but I think it's possible.
It's very possible. I think once it would have seemed that the viable challenger to La La Land would have been Moonlight, which is my personal favorite in this race, or Manchester by the Sea, which is another of my favorites, actually.
Yeah.
Those are probably, to me, the two best films that are nominated. But Hidden Figures, which is a very entertaining film, is the only film besides La La Land that has, I believe, crossed the $100 million mark at the box office. The Academy always likes it if they can give it to a hit. Not always possible, but this time it is possible. And it also won the Screen Actors Guild for
it won the
Best
Ensemble Award, which is also
for which La La Land, a two-hander, was not even nominated. It should be said, but still, yeah.
Yeah, you just wonder. Yeah, I'm also a fan of Manchester. I'm afraid that Manchester is too downbeat for voters this year. Even though I've seen it twice, I could see it again.
It's funny too. It's
yes,
very
yes,
funny.
and it has an upbeat, really ending, even though no one wants to acknowledge that. But I think maybe this is one of those films that it's just an honor to be nominated. And maybe Manchester is happy to get all the nominations it got and have all the people who did see it see it.
Absolutely. Well, anything still could happen, and we will find out what does happen at the Oscars on February 26th.
Be there.